When working with the third eye, it's important to remember and to see everyone, especially in this group, as individual sovereign beings. As sovereign beings, we are capable, each of us, individual, of creating our own reality, taking care of ourselves, and of being completely empowered and masters of our own reality. It's important that we see each other as having this capability. So as we move forward, see everyone in the class, including yourself, as completely sovereign. We don't absorb each other's energies, but rather connect as individual sovereign beings on a co-created grid. So I want you to see that the grid beneath your feet, wherever you stand on or wherever you're sitting when you listen to this is the grid we're connecting on as empaths. This is our co-created grid. And this is an agreed upon space in which we use as a platform to better understand our experiences, waking up and becoming more empowered as empaths. So as we move forward into the third eye, it's really important that you see yourself as sovereign, as individual, as sovereign, as capable of making your own decisions. You're the one giving your life meaning. You're the one experiencing what you experience and then believing what you believe about that experience. So again, this whole class is about questioning that, but it's important when we go into the third eye that you don't get confused and think of energy around you or anything that you're feeling as yours, because that's how the third eye gets blocked, which we'll go into in a little bit. So the third eye is located between the eyebrows, above and between the eyebrows. It's in front of the pituitary gland and is therefore connected to the endocrine system and the limbic system of the brain. This is why it has the association with premonition, because it's connected to the flow of your body's energy. Whatever vibration you're actually putting out is pretty much determined by your endocrine system and how your energy is moving in your central nervous system. So the third eye has its connection with the pituitary gland and also with the pineal gland, as we said in the crown chakra area. So when the third eye and the pineal gland come together and they're both open and flowing freely within the body, it creates an Urim and a Thummim, which in the Old Testament were the two seer stones used to translate. And it means lights and perfections. So when you have your crown chakra and your third eye open and communicating with each other and communicating properly with the body, you are able to read yourself, to translate what's going on in your body, to translate the energy in your body, and your mind can create a reality in which your body is thriving. Most people are not communicating with their body and have a blocked third eye, which is often what causes a lot of illnesses in the body. So having a third eye that is clear and properly communicating, especially with the crown chakra, can be really powerful. The endocrine system commands the secretion of hormones that transmits messages, memories, and emotions to the body. So again, this is why your third eye can be so encompassing in terms of visions, because it's connected also to memories and emotions in the body. It's symbolized by the color indigo, and it's associated with integrity, integration, and intuition. It's represented as not an element, but rather as inner light. And when in the Old Testament, there's in the New Testament, there's a verse where Jesus is talking. He says, if your eye is single, then your whole body will be full of light. So having a single eye is referring to the third eye. It's referring to having a oneness perspective rather than a duality perspective, which is often what happens when we're in our minds and not in our higher perspective. We see things as black and white. We see both sides, but we don't really have our own opinion, because no matter what side you look at, you can see where the system is flawed, the system of the aggressor, victim, savior. So when we have the light of our third eye open, we can see the bigger picture. We can almost see like fifth dimensionally, so to speak. So we have an eternal perspective. Things do not just feel temporal to us. And therefore, it's easier for us to integrate this experience as a human. When the third eye is balanced, the body and mind function in harmony. So again, when our third eye is open and clear, and especially when it's communicating with the crown chakra, it has an ability to communicate clearly with the body, to receive the body's signals, to know what's actually going on in the body, and to provide the body what it needs. When our third eye is balanced, our perspective reflects more of an eternal, like I said in the other slide, an eternal perspective rather than a temporal perspective, or just focus on our temporal reality. When our third eye is open, we reason with the heart and mind together. So we don't get stuck in mind wars with ourselves, or even heart wars, like where we've been wounded and we feel deeply victimized and it's someone else's fault and we're in the blame thing. When our third eye is balanced, we are just speaking and communicating in balance between our heart and our mind, which causes us to be empowered, because when the heart and the mind is communicating, we have full awareness of our part, so to speak, in our creation and in our experience. When the third eye is balanced, truth is easy to feel and experience. It feels like common sense. We just know it. When the third eye is out of balance, we can feel a lot of inner self conflict and self-inflicted pain. This is especially true for people who struggle with self-hatred. The third eye is often completely imbalanced or closed down because the mind can create anything it wants to create. And if all of our beliefs are bent on self-destruction, or they're all rooted in self-hatred, then what the mind will project before you is very disturbing scenes and a very disturbing future, so to speak, for yourself. You won't be able to see outside of your misery because all of your beliefs indicate that you're unworthy of love and therefore unworthy of receiving anything good. So if you have self-hatred, it's going to be really hard to use the third eye properly and to see clearly. Self-hatred is not a natural state, and it is not an objectively true state at all. It is so against what we naturally are. Our inner selves, our source selves, would never hate anything about us or anything about the other. So coming from a place of self-hatred we know immediately, is out of alignment for us. When our third eye is shut down, we have a lot of difficulty concentrating, we can have memory loss, and just have no inner peace. Again, this stems from rejecting aspects of ourselves that want to be integrated. And so the third eye will always bring up the things that want to be integrated. But if we have self-hatred, it's much, much more difficult to integrate those truths. Here are some recommendations for the third eye. One is to get in touch with your physical body as much as possible. A lot of people with a blocked third eye tend to overanalyze and be heavily in the mind, which can block our inner clarity. But when we drop down into the heart and actually allow ourselves to feel our body, to be connected with our physical body and the energy in our physical body, as we've been trying to do this whole cleanse, it allows the third eye and the crown chakra to actually communicate better with the endocrine system, with the pituitary gland, which regulates our hormones. And so it's really important that we allow ourselves to have contact with our body, to have intellectual contact with it, meaning like directing our consciousness inward in our body instead of always being outward or always thinking of abstract concepts, rather than being tuned into actually what's going on. It's also important to check your ego, your competitive ego especially. Obviously, there's nothing inherently wrong with competition, but the feeling of needing to be right or the best can block the third eye because it closes us down to alternative messages that may be trying to make their way through, or alternative ways of being, or just internal nudges. Often our competition can really block, our competitive spirit can really block our listening to our true intuition. It's also really crucial that you support your brain health by taking things like spirulina or blue-green algae or 5-HTTP. These things all help the brain function better. And this is really important because lots of calcification can occur in the brain, which does affect our clarity and our thinking. So the trick here is that our mind and our intuition, our intuition and our instinct be married. And often when we've been traumatized or we are disassociated in our emotions, which are often caused by unconscious beliefs that we have due to trauma, a lot of times when this happens, we are not in touch with our instincts because our instincts go off as a fight or flight response based on things that are from our past or things we haven't cleared or healed from. So often we'll have a fight or flight response go off, or our instinct will tell us we're in danger, when in actuality we're just in a trigger, or we're just having something associating to our trauma that's actually affecting us. So it's really important to clear the brain, get the brain as healthy as possible. And this also can be helpful to eat things like blackberries, plums, and purple grapes, like purple or indigo color foods. It resonates as the same color as the chakra, but they actually are healthy for the brain and brain functioning. So please take care of your actual clearing of the brain. There's also supplements you can take to help detox the brain neural pathway. So where a lot of gunk builds up, where the synapses are in the brain, there's supplements that can help clear that and cleanse the actual brain. This does affect our thinking, and it does affect the third eye. Obviously, also, fluoride is the number one thing to stay away from. It completely calcifies the pineal gland. So things that decalcify the pineal gland are obviously like alkalized water. Cannabis can decalcify the pineal gland, and that's a whole other topic which I'm planning to do a video on, because cannabis can be very good and very healthy for empaths to use for certain things like anxiety or decalcification. But it can also be really horrible to use if you don't know what you're doing, or you use it out of context or too much, or use it to escape. It can be the absolutely wrong thing to do. So that's another video, but cannabis is helpful to, it decalcifies the pineal gland. And just Google things that decalcify the pineal gland, because this week I really think it's important to commit to at least doing one thing that helps decalcify your pineal gland, even if it's stop using fluoride toothpaste. Make one commitment that will actually support your pineal gland, which will actually support your health, your communication with your endocrine system, and your hormones. So this is actually very important, and it's a physical component to this. Another thing that helps open the third eye is solitude, spending time alone where you don't hear anyone else's opinions or thoughts. And especially if you can be in solitude in nature where you can it can help calm the central nervous system. And then non-competitive exercises like yoga, walking, tai chi, kung fu, any of those. I guess kung fu can definitely be competitive, but just anything that connects you with the energy and helps you to be very present to your body. And then being spontaneous and listening to spontaneous flow. Like when you hear something spontaneous come up in you and you want to do something spontaneous, to act on it. This is usually your third eye or your intuition and your instinct marrying when you have that impulse that's to be spontaneous. So listen to that. So let's start out as we usually do and take 3 deep belly breaths. As you're breathing in, imagine you bringing light to all the organs and cells in your body. And as you're breathing out, imagine releasing any negativity or darker energy that you no longer want to commune with. And we're going to see our crown chakra open from the top, and that beautiful white light come through, down through all of our chakras, down our spinal cord. Keep your spine really straight, down through the root chakra, and imagine it going down through you, through the earth itself, into the center of the earth where our mother's heartbeat is. And just feel yourself Allow yourself to adjust to that heartbeat of inner earth. Imagine that heartbeat going back up and pulsating through the energy that's coming from the crown chakra. And it's holding a powerful stream of force, of light energy, of hope, of cleansing, of understanding. It has all that you need. And this light reminds us that we're always connected to Source. We're always connected to all things. And at any moment, at any given time, we can use our minds. We can use our third eye to direct the energy into our bodies to give us everything we need. I want you to bring your attention to your heart chakra. See it open. See that beautiful emerald or pink light swirling around in that heart vortex chakra. Drop into the tiniest space in your heart where all things exist and all things are connected. This space in your heart is your kingdom, directly connected to your body, which stores all memories of your life. You are your Akashic record. And this little space within your heart holds all information for your soul's journey. Remember, your heart has its own brain and thinks for itself. As the famous saying goes, the heart has logic that logic knows not of. So get comfortable with this eternal, internal rhythm of your heart, your heart logic. As you see your heart chakra open, feel your heart chakra. Just make sure you're bringing your attention to your heart chakra right now. Feel the energy of your heart chakra directly connect to your third eye. If you want, you can see it as a light coming up out of your heart chakra and rounding up to your third eye, connecting to your third eye and coming back out of your head, out of the outside of your head and back it through your heart chakra. So it's forming around you from front to the back. Now I'm also going to erect a temple space around us and remind you again that you are your own sovereign being. You do not absorb other people's energy. You simply feel the grid that others are on and you respond to it. But allow your heart and your third eye to connect. Now see your third eye light up in that beautiful indigo, just spinning in that vortex indigo color, and see it connect to your crown chakra. So your heart chakra is feeding the energy, connecting to the third eye, and now the third eye is connecting to the crown. Now remember, when the crown chakra and the third eye connect, it forms and creates the Urim and the Thummim, which are the seer stones from the Old Testament, which means lights and perfections. This is like a projector screen that actually can align you to your true compass north, your true home, your true north. Imagine your emotional self, your energetic body around you, your auric field, shifting to the vibrations that your third eye and your crown chakra are projecting for you right now. So bring your attention to your third eye and imagine that keep your physical eyes closed. But imagine that your third eye is open. Open that eyeball there, that light. and see through. Imagine that you're looking through your third eye, which is being fed light directly from the crown chakra, directly from the heart. Now imagine this energy is a powerful energy that can translate all vibration, all energy, all stories that you are experiencing or have ever experienced. Your third eye can see your entire blueprint. Now ask your third eye, what is the most important thing for me to see right now, or to feel, or to know, however you receive the information. Just going to sit here for about a minute. I might make some suggestions as we go. The idea is to connect to your third eye. Allow your third eye to show you, either through sight or feeling sensation, or through a deep inner knowing, whatever is most important for you to know or see about yourself right now. Be open to it being different than you imagined. Just simply listen. If you don't notice anything right away, simply draw your attention to how you feel. How does the visualization feel to you? How does the energy feel inside of you? Maybe come up with a very specific question. What do you really want to know? If you were given access to your whole blueprint, all of your Akashic record, what do you want to know? More particularly, what does your heart need? Remember, the mind can block the third eye because it has its own agenda, which usually involves protecting us. The heart, however, its agenda is for restoration. Its agenda is for more love and more connection and more hope. So remember, come to this question, come to your third eye from the heart space, not from the mind. Drop into your emotional body, drop into your heart. Remember, when the third eye is balanced, our bodies and minds function together. We have more of an eternal perspective, and we can act with that eternal perspective rather than acting on every impulse and casual desire. Because our third eye sees far out, it gives us the warnings and the indications we need to make sure we stay on that path that is for our highest good. When our sixth chakra, third eye, is blocked, we can have problem concentrating, an inability to recognize patterns in our lives, and memory problems. So if you're having a difficult time focusing, it's a good indication that your third eye is foggy. So send some bright light there. Just allow it to be lit up and just see your third eye in your mind. See that indigo color. If you want to look at the picture on the screen, look at that, imagine that, but keep visualizing it clear and lit up with light, clearing out any fog, any difficulties, any memory issues, any inner turbulence. Remember, this is connected with the limbic system of the brain and the pituitary gland, which commands the secretion of hormones that transmits messages, memories, and emotions to the bodies. The pituitary gland is directly connected to the mind and body, and our pineal gland communicates with the pituitary gland. So just remember that as you do this kind of work, you are affecting and influencing your physical body. These are not abstract concepts. This is real energy, real vibration, making its way through your body. The purpose is helping you align to your inner truth. Remember your spine. Don't forget that as we take deep breaths and connect. Your spine is the elder wand, the most powerful wand in the world. It literally directs how your energy moves in your body. So hold that spine up straight and allow the light to come in and purify any excess energy on the spinal cord. Now release yourself into the mantra. I see with inner clarity. I see with inner clarity. I see with inner clarity. Just allow yourself to release into that mantra. And anytime you feel foggy or hazy or having a difficult time focusing, repeat that mantra to yourself and simply focus your attention on the third eye being cleared out with source light. I see with inner clarity. When you're ready, you can start bringing your attention to your body. Maybe move your fingers and your toes. Take a few more deep breaths. Imagine the light of your third eye communicating with all other chakras in your body. So you are complete. You are whole. All parts of you are functioning as they should, at least for this moment. And the more you practice this vibration, the more in alignment and balance you'll be. Remember the mantra this week. I see with inner clarity. Say it as many times as you can, anytime you find yourself feeling confused or frustrated or cut off from your internal guidance system. Simply bring your attention to your third eye, open that crown chakra, connect to the heart, and allow yourself to see. When you're ready, you can come out of this meditation. Remember to do it every day. You don't have to listen to this every day, but you can do your own version of it. But this is the cleanse. So important. Don't forget this part. Don't forget the mantra. Don't forget to connect. This is not about knowing. It's about doing. It's about implementing. And you won't get the results you need if you don't implement. So when you're ready to come out, connect to your heart and thank it. Connect to your third eye and thank it. And thank the earth and source energy for connecting you to the energy that you need to fill up your highest potential. So one of the changes I'm going to make to the final program, I'm going to be testing out in this next beta testing group, is adding an actual practical practice that we can do each week outside of just the meditation, because I feel like we haven't been grounded enough, that people, as the weeks have gone on, haven't really stuck with the meditation, and so they kind of feel like they're not doing anything. And yes, it can be good to have the information and kind of let that marinate, but if we're not doing anything with the information, then this is really a waste. So one of the things I'm going to add to the final program, which you will all have access to when it's done, is an actual exercise to do each week. I'm going to call it a truth or dare. So we can either do a truth or a dare, and each week we can pick. Obviously, we're already mostly through our cleanse, but I wanted to add it to this week with the third eye, especially because I think it's really important to put the information that you get into action. Otherwise, it's not solidified in the brain. So this week, remember, my challenge to you is to say the mantra every day, all throughout the day. Anytime you feel unfocused or you don't have clarity, just say the mantra, I see with inner clarity. Or you can change it to something that fits better for you if you don't like that one, but something that indicates your third eye being clear. And then I want you to ask in the meditation, or just ask yourself after you get out of the meditation, whatever feels best to you at some point this week, do I want to do a truth or do I want to do a dare? And I want you to share with the group what it is. So a truth would be that your third eye wants to tell you something you're not ready to look at about your life, or just something you've discovered through actually doing the meditations, which you can share this at the end of this week. Something that you've discovered. But this discovery comes from actually doing the meditation every day. So if you've done the meditation every day, what is your truth that you learned about yourself through this meditation? That's the truth. The dare is, what would my third eye, or ask your inner self, what is my third eye asking me to do? Like, what's the spontaneity of it? What is something it's physically asking me to do? It could be something like a random act of kindness, like it's asking you to step outside of your box and do something for someone else. One of the things that gets us caught a lot is that we can get into our own funk, into our own issues, especially when we're deep in ourselves like we have been, and deep in our memory and deep in our emotional bodies. We can just kind of forget about the outside world, and because other people can be overwhelming, we can tend to just close off. So one of the things that I recommend, a dare that I would suggest this week, is to do something for somebody else anonymously, where you don't have to feel like you need to absorb their energy in any way, shape, or form, but you're still getting your minds and your thoughts off of yourself. That can be one of the most powerful things to do when you're looking for clarity, because when you're in yourself and you're in your emotions, it can be a bit like digging around in a garbage pit, or in a mud hole is a better way to put it. It can feel really overwhelming. So my dare this week is to do a random act of kindness, and it can be something like pay for someone's Starbucks, and if you're in front of them, pay for the person behind you, or anonymously give money, or I don't know what it could be. Drop off a gift at someone's house unexpectedly. Something that's a random act of kindness, but listen to your third eye, listen to your intuition, and ask yourself, what is it asking me to do? So preferably whatever your inner self is asking you to do is directly related to something you need as well, that you need in terms of getting outside the box, or trusting in abundance, or believing in something or someone. So maybe a good way to phrase it is, what would I love to be done for me? How can you open yourself up more to receiving by doing the thing that you want to receive? So ask yourself what you want to do this week. Do I want to do a truth or do I want to do a dare? And then every day when you do your meditation, connect with what it is that your third eye is asking you to do. And then by the end of the week, so by Sunday of this week, share with the group your truth or your dare, what you did, how it went, how it made you feel. If you want to share it before Sunday, you totally can. But this will be a fun way to really put to practice whatever our chakra exercise is doing for us. And we'll do it with the throat chakra as well. And like I said, in the final program, I'm going to have a version of this. I'm probably going to make it a little clearer and better, but this is definitely going to be a part of the final program, something practical that we do each week. I also would really love to hear from you because it's been kind of quiet in the group, and I know the holidays have been around, so don't worry about it. But remember that the idea here is to get your feedback. It's a beta test group because I don't exactly know what's going to work and what's not going to work when I work with a group of people and when we're doing this type of cleansing. So the more I hear back from you, the more honest and authentic feedback you give me, the better the final version is going to be, which you will also have access to. So please don't feel shy to tell me what you're feeling or what you're experiencing or what's not working or what's working. And I would love to hear all of it. So please share with me too anything that comes up for you. And I hope you guys have a good week. And you will be receiving an email from me later with the phone calls, the times and dates for the phone calls this week, and also with another video, which I will put out Thursday. I'll actually send another video out on Thursday. So you'll receive an email with the calls, and then you'll receive another email on Thursday, which will have another video on it related to the third eye. All right, I hope you guys are doing well. Bye.